So how does it begin?
Type of discipline.
Little before that.
Master and student.
Perfect. Huh. Yes. In the ancient times, how would they light fire? They strike it together. The friction and the heat between them brought up the fire. Yes? It's the same thing. A master produces some kind of a friction with the student's intellect. And that's where the Jnana Agni is born. Yeah? The fire of knowledge. He kind of pokes your ego and kindles it. It's already inside. Knowledge is all there inside. But I am asleep, happy, sleeping in my ignorance, in my Maya. What does the Guru do? He ignites the intellect. He ignites the fire within me. He says, wake up. That's how a student wakes up. Okay? So that's what in ancient times, in all the Upanishads, all the Vedas, all the scriptures, they always said that this is called Gyan Agni. Why is it an Agni? We are not talking about the physical fire. I am talking about Gyan Agni. What is Gyan? Knowledge. The fire of knowledge. Where it goes up, what?
Uplift the spirit.
So the fire of knowledge, why is it called fire in the first place?
Burns the ignorance.
Perfect. It really burns you. You don't want to let go of that ego, that hatred, that negativity. Negativity and ego is not holding on to you. You are holding on to negativity and ego. Do you realize this? You are holding on to hatred. This fire of knowledge burns you. It makes you really restless. It does not leave you in that comfortable space of, oh, it's all okay. I'm going to go with this ignorance. I'm going to be with this Maya. It does not let you be. Yeah? So master's job is what? To kindle that fire in the student. Has that fire been kindled in you? Master is working equally on everybody in this room, huh? It depends on you, which category you fall in. Yeah? First category, even before the master says it, the disciple is already doing it. It's not about doing seva for the master. What are we talking about here? Applying this knowledge, taking the initiative to walk on the spiritual path, however tough it might feel to the small mind. That is what he's talking about. Not about doing seva for Guruji. Yeah? What is the second type of person? Only when the master says, do homework, do this, do that, then he says, I have to do it. Only when the master says, sit and meditate, then you are meditating. That proactiveness is not there. Are you seeing the difference? You are not proactive here in the second case. The first person is the proactive kind. Okay, it doesn't matter if the master has not told that to me yet, but there's so many talks, there's so many DVDs, there's so much scriptures, there's so much that the master has given. Yeah? Let me follow that all. Difference? Yeah? And the third kind of person? Just sitting around saying, I learned the Sudarshan Kriya 20 years ago. I'm enlightened. I am so good, I am there. Finish. No effort. Yeah, you've seen such people. Where do you fall? Homework number 1 for you. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. Good.
First type of student.
First type of student. Even before having been told, the one who does it is the topper of the class. Where do you fall? Now, where does Nachiketa want to be? First. Yeah. So, what does he do?
As soon as his father tells him.
Yeah. As soon as his father tells him, he just goes to death. Yeah. He goes. It's mythological. Okay. Understand it. So he goes to Lord Yama. Then he waits very patiently. Guruji said, virtue. The highest virtue of a disciple or a sincere seeker, spiritual seeker. What is it? Patience. I am ready to wait. I am ready to receive. My doors are open. You come when you want to come. Yeah? There is no this hurry, this feverishness, running after things that you have on a material aspect is not there on this spiritual path. He is ready. I know it will take time and I am ready to work in that direction. With full gratitude. But he is working, not that, I have a lot of time, I'll work after next Janma. No, not that attitude. I am working on it right now. I know it can take some time. Do you have patience? Homework number 2. Or are you like really impatient? Oh no, Guruji, right now I want to get enlightened. So he goes to Yama and then come on, we discussed this yesterday also. Guruji also told you.
Yama is by his sincerity and patience, so he gives him, for honoring the guest, he gives him 3 months.
What is the first boon? Fatherly.
Appease my father's anger.
Done. All taken care of. Number 2.
I want to know the process to
The
go to
process
heaven.
of going to heaven. What is heaven?
What is the process?
720.
What is it? Tell me. Guruji gave you homework. It's for you to think. What is 720? I gave you a clue yesterday. If you were paying attention yesterday, you will be able to answer me today. Yeah, look through your notes.
It is 2 years time? 12 years of time or 2 years of time? No. 6 years.
Good. Think. Scratch a little bit more. It's a little bit.
It's 2 days, which is equal to 1 year of pay.
Okay. 1 day. 1 day of the on the other side of the realm. Other side of this physical realm. 1 day is equal to
6 months.
12
months. 12 months.
6 months day, 6 months night.
Yeah, so it is not exactly 365 days, it is 360 days is equal to the 1 year, the 1 day on the other side of the realm.
2 days.
So, 360 day times, 360 night times. 1 brick represents daytime. 1 brick represents daytime. 1 brick represents the night time. Got it? 360 into 2.
720.
Got it? Hindu calendar is a little different than the English calendar. You know, na? That is why it's not exactly 365. It's 360. Got it?
So, but still, you said 1 day equivalent to 360 bricks.
The daytime is equivalent to 1 brick.
Okay.
Night time is equivalent to 1 brick.
But here it is 720 bricks.
Yeah, so 2 bricks equals to your 1 day.
Correct. 1 week is 12 hours.
360 into 2.
1 week is 12 hours.
Got it? Okay, listen very carefully, 100% focusing here. 1 brick equals to daytime. Daytime is equal to 1 brick. Night time is equal to 1 brick. So in one full 24-hour cycle, 2 bricks. How many days in a year? 360 days on the other side. 360 into 2 is equal to mathematics. 720 bricks.
That's what I was trying to say. So 1 year on the other side is equal to 720 bricks. Then 1 day on the side.
1 day of the soul is equal to your 1 year. And your 1 year, according to the Hindu calendar, is not 365 days, it is 360 days. 360 days into 2 bricks. 1 brick for the daytime, 1 brick for the night time. Got it?
Ektaji, one question. The 3 days that you explained that it takes 3 days for the soul to get out of the body. Is it the human days or is it the soul days?
Okay, correction. It does not take 3 days to get out of the physical body. You snap out of the physical body immediately. You take 3 days to understand that you are dead. To adjust to the other side.
The human.
Yeah, you're still here, you're still stuck here. So in our 3 days, you're like, I can't believe I do not exist anymore. Yeah? You want to touch, you want to taste, you want to smell. Yeah? That is only for people who are non-spiritual, have not even thought about death or what happens at death throughout their life. Those are the people who cannot adjust. They take maximum 3 days. Yeah? People who do this knowledge, especially Kathopanishad, they know it immediately. And you will know before death approaches also. I'll cover that tomorrow. Yeah? So there is no need to worry for you. It is just to explain to you why we do that 3-day thing when somebody passes away. It is just to explain to you those 3 days of rituals. And after the 3rd day, of course, you do continue, but that intensive puja and rituals and rites are done in those 3 days. What are those rites and rituals? Gurudev explained today.
Tell your soul that you move forward, so your earth element will dissolve in earth element. fire element. So all the 5 elements will dissolve in their original forms, while the light, the soul, you move on, you don't worry about it.
Yes? You remember, no? Come on, somebody write. Chalo, come. Quickly. Quickly. What were you at the beginning of creation? Tell him. He'll write. What is that called? Brahman. Write Brahman in the center of the page, on the top, in the center. Brahman. Yes, you were Brahman in the beginning of this creation. What is Brahman really?
Nothingness.
Just nothingness, just a pool of consciousness. We were all just one pool of consciousness. Then?
It's Purusha and Prakruti.
Yeah. Not explosion, let's just say out of its own Maya, yeah, things came out, emerged out of it. What emerged?
Prakruti and Purusha.
Perfect. Purusha and Prakriti emerged out of Brahman. What is Purusha? Soul. Soul or spirit. Yeah. So basically, Brahman is like the entire ocean. Purusha is one little drop in that ocean. One little wave, one little drop. Yeah? Or whatever. Your little bottle of water. Yeah? One little dot of energy. It is reflection of the ocean only. Is that water different from the ocean? Same water. Belongs to the ocean. But now it thinks I'm sitting in this bottle. I am Aquafina. Or I am Bisleri. Yeah? It acquires its own identity. It says, no, I am not regular water. I am mineral water. Sparkling. What's sparkling water? Yeah? So you see the difference and the similarity. Yes? And what is Prakriti? Yeah? What is matter?
Material.
5 elements.
5 elements. What are the 5 elements? Earth, water, fire, air, ether. These are the 5 elements that everything in this Prakriti is made of. Yeah? Doesn't matter if it is this couch, this iPad, the iPhone, your computer, yeah, or plant, or insect, yeah, or a human body. Everything is composed of these 5 in different permutations and combinations. You understand permutation and combination? Different percentages. Yeah, somewhere the earth element is quite a lot, like in a big mountain. Yeah, the earth element is predominant. But can you say there is no water? There is little water, there is little moistness. That's how it gives birth to life. A plant exists, a tree exists. Yes? There is heat in the mountain also. Yes? There is also air in it. It's breathing. That's how the roots of the tree get their oxygen. Yes? So are you seeing all the elements exist in everything, whether it is a mountain or this piece of flesh sitting here talking to you. Even this is just a combination of earth, water, fire, ether, air. There is space inside this body. There is air going in and out. This is nothing but earth. Skin, bones is just earth. There is water in this body, the blood, yeah, and all the fluids in the body. Are you getting it? So everything in this world is just composed of earth, water, fire, ether and air. Clear? Yes. So when we do the last rituals, what is really happening? The Purusha which is in this piece of Prakriti is leaving the Prakriti. Yeah? That is the way the Purusha has to go. But the Purusha doesn't want to leave the Prakriti. So attached to this body and the relationships of this body. A house is a relationship of this body, not of the Purusha. A father, a mother, a child, husband, wife is a relationship of the body, not of the Purusha. Are you getting this? Yeah? It is attached to all the relationships of the Prakriti. So when we do the last rites, we are actually telling the Purusha, move away from the Prakriti. It is dead now. Let the earth go back to the earth. Let the water go back to the water. Let the air get released into the air. Let the space get released into space. And let the fire die down. This body has a temperature, right? That is the fire in the body that keeps it alive. You know, beyond 96 degrees, under 96 degrees Celsius and above 100 Fahrenheit and above 100, 110, you would not exist. Your range is around 95 to 110. Yeah? That is maintained by the fire in this body. The Purusha wants to hold on to that also. Yeah? So your last shlokas that are chanted in Sanskrit at the last rites when the body is dead. They are actually telling the Purusha which is hovering around the body, go. Let this earth go into earth, let the water go into water, let the space go into space. Drop all this attachment.
I have one question here. When I don't understand Sanskrit much, so how do I understand it the last 3 days?
How so sweet. Very good question. Excellent.
So it doesn't need any language. It's already
Because your soul is so ancient, you can understand.
So, yeah. It's basically your vibration that is going to the soul. It's not that you will only understand those 2 languages even after you pass away. Yeah, so think a little out of the box, okay? It's a different realm of existence. Yeah, it works at the level of energy. When you were meditating in the morning, the energy in this room was so high. Yeah? Your meditation actually moves on to the other realm and touches the other souls that are right here. Yeah? The language there is energy. When the mantras are chanted, what happens? Mantras have a strong vibration. That vibration, that energy is what is telling that soul, move away, drop this attachment. Like magnetism. Yeah? It's just that till now you were completely North and South Pole, Prakriti and Purusha, and suddenly at death they turned it around. Now you are South Pole and South Pole. So what will happen? Yeah? That is the mantras. That is the
intellect is gone at that time, right? Intellect is not there.
Everything is there. We'll come to that. It's just that energy talking to the energy, go away. Move away, move away. That energy wants to resist. Have you seen the magnets when they are South Pole, actually fighting? Yeah, they want to be together but they cannot be together. It's exactly that phase, those 3 days. Are you getting it now? So it's energy talking to energy. Mantras are nothing but energy. They are sounds.
Why do we say only 3 days it stays there? Why not for a longer time?
We don't say that's the way it is. Because that's the way it is designed. Why some are only 3 months in a year?
It can be longer, but why 3 days? It can stay for 10 days. If I have strong liking, I can stay there for 10 days.
There are many souls who don't move on.
Yeah. Even after 10 days.
Longer also. Many souls can hover around for a very, very long time. Yeah, but these are very few, 0.001%, who have so much raga, so much dvesha, heavy souls, very tamasic, not in any kind of spirituality, very materialistic, very ignorant, lost in Maya, those kind of souls. Not everybody is really so horrible. So very few people, very few souls actually tend to hover around.
When do they get liberated? Then it will start hard.
It depends on them. It totally depends on how much they have worked on themselves, and it is their karma bag which determines it.
And in that realm, so in the other realm, we say that our 1 year is their 1 day. So for actually the soul, it will be very, when we say 3 days in our world, it is very small time, right?
Yeah, it's
it
like
goes away. It is
for
not
them.
that, when they are taking so much time to adjust, we think that it is 3 days, but for them it is a very small fraction of time.
Yes. The time and space only exist in this physical realm of existence. Beyond this, time and space does not exist.
Okay, as we say, like whatever the last impression of that spirit, it will take another, I would say, body.
Yeah.
Right? So might that raga or dvesha, which is strong enough and which might be long beyond 3 days, or we can say 3 days. But it is going to get into the body of its this last impression. So what happens if it is, even if it is there for a longer time? Because it is going to take the next body, which is his last impression, and his last impression is there itself. So why it matters even if it takes long
His
time?
suffering is longer.
But even if he is going to take the next birth, he's having to have the suffering.
Yeah, correct. He'll have the suffering. Okay, I'll explain it to you.
But suffering is with a physical body.
I'll tell you something. You dream in the night when you go to sleep. You dream the same things that you are attached to during the day. Have you noticed?
That's what we say.
Not always.
Not always.
When you are not aware of your dreams, a little awareness is required. Those who said not always. You have to become more and more aware. There are different types of dreams, but predominantly you will see the dreams that you are of your raga or your dvesha, cravings or aversions, or fears. Fears are also in dvesha. There are mixed kind of dreams where all get mixed up, but it's finally your raga, dvesha, fears. Yes? And there is a last type of a dream which has to do with the place. That will be in a hotel. You go visiting Italy, you start speaking in Italian, you've never spoken in Italian in your life. These things happen, but very little. Predominantly, it's your own raga dvesha that you see in dreams. During the day, you're very attached to eating sweets, chocolates, whatever, pizza, paratha, butter, ghee, whatever. Now, suppose in an entire day you didn't get to eat it. What happens? In the dream you want to eat it. But what happens? Can you taste it in the dream? So the longing always remains. If you're really aware of your dreams, you will notice that the dream does not satisfy you because the longing remains. You cannot really taste it, no? You see this very beautiful girl in your dream. You want to be with her, or a very handsome man. But it doesn't get satiated. So the thirst always remains. That suffering is always there. Exactly the same phase happens after death for a soul that has not moved on to the next lifetime. That phase is like that dream phase. He wants something but he cannot get it. Isn't that suffering quite a lot? To be hovering around here, wanting to eat, wanting to touch, wanting to hug, and not being able to move on. That suffering is so much. It's like a dream state and not being able to get it. My raga dvesha is there, but I'm not being able to satiate it.
Here is the next day my aversion or my dislike would be something different too. Not the same thing.
No. Now this changing happens only when you are in the physical body. The moment you are out of the physical body, your impressions collapse into a collapsed balloon. Have you seen a collapsed balloon with lots of things written on it? Now those are fixed. Now you are stuck with that pain. The strongest ragas and dveshas of that life dominate you at that time. Yeah? So it is very good to move on. Please don't plan to stick on here.
So when you say move on to
the light. That's what now in the next video Guruji will explain.
Is it that move on like it's in my control?
Yes. As in drop this raga dvesha to the wife, to the child, to the house and let go. Start moving in the direction of the light. There will be a light, a sense of light that you will have. You have to just start moving. Drop everything behind. Drop this physical realm. Stop being stuck to the house, to the place, where the body is, and move on. That is why we burn in the Hindu culture. We burn the body. Why? So the soul
is attracted towards it. You don't keep on going back to it.
Yeah. So the soul who's right there, still hovering around, sees it's the end. Oh. That's when it really hits home. That it's over. I cannot even try to get back into it now. Now let me move on. It really hits hard to people who are not on the spiritual path. Those who have understood this knowledge. Okay. It's time to move on.
What happens when a soul doesn't have that attachment to raga, dvesha? Do they get immediately another birth, or they are lightened? So what happens to them?
That also Guruji is going to talk. The moment you let go of your raga and dvesha, you move on. Yeah? If you can get enlightened, depends in that lifetime you have dropped everything and just done seva. There's no raga dvesha. Yeah? So many enlightened masters we know. And we know Gurudev. Yeah? So they have that freedom whether they want to come back after they move on or not. You don't have this freedom. Were you asked, do you want to be born here in this house? Will do, mom will do, check. Did you do that? No, you were not asked. Your raga and dvesha pulled you towards a couple. Yeah? Guruji told you in the video, that a soul will get even a couple together. Yeah? Just out of its own raga dvesha. It's just like that magnetic property. Yeah? Just because I am North Pole, I will get this South Pole and that South Pole purposely together. But they are South Pole. They cannot be together much longer. Yeah? But for the soul, they have to come together. So many souls come, they take birth. And what happens to these two? They break up. Yeah? Guruji said, no, I can see it happening. Okay, two people are talking at the same time. Just a minute, there's a question in the room, then I'll come back to you. Yeah?
Yesterday we were talking that the soul chooses the parents. Now today we are talking about that the soul is diverted to as per their raga and dvesha.
Raga and dvesha is the way you chose the parents. Not out of freedom.
Not forced by something.
Forced by your own raga and dvesha, you chose your parents. Freedom is where there is no raga and no dvesha.
Zero or little bit?
He wants to keep room for one person. No room. Yeah? No room for the other.
That soul parents will have also the same kind of raga, dvesha, then only they will get attracted.
Absolutely, absolutely. You have that equation with the person, the mother, and that equation with that father. That's how you all come together. And that is why you're usually born in the same family again and again and again. You've not been with your wife or husband the first time.
That's why maybe they start
Seven lives you know, we stay together. That's a long time.
The qualities change in the depending on qualities.
depends on your
Personality will change depending on the body that you take. Yeah. But usually you are in the same family for many janmas. You can be your mother's mother, you can be your mother's child, you can be your father's brother. All mixture happens. You can get married to your brother of your last birth. All kinds of permutation, combinations happen. Yeah. Don't think too much about it. But you are not the first time with your spouse. Definitely. Yeah. It's one of your very strong karmas. Yeah.
The Guru said, like in Britain, they have junior and number 5 and 6. So,
Yeah.
like if your grandson is 2 years old and you die at that time, do you wait that long when your grandson gets married and you take birth?
Now that wait long is, we think long, no? Ours, 1 year, ours is just 1 day on the other side, no? So it's not long really. We think like that. Oh, it is such a long time. It's not a long time. 80, 90, 100 years life of this physical piece of Prakriti. It's not long. Yeah, it's not much.
So what kind of raga dvesha does a spiritual master like Guruji have to choose their parents?
He did not have raga and dvesha. He had complete freedom. He had already gotten enlightened. Yeah, you've heard stories about Gurudev. At the age of 4, he used to recite the Bhagavad Gita. These are strong sanskaras coming from the previous lifetime. Yeah? So an enlightened master who you know is enlightened already. Yeah? He got enlightened in his previous birth. He had the freedom to choose whether he wants to come back also or not come back at all. You have that freedom once you attain that enlightenment. Yeah? But he chose to come back to help us out. Yeah?
Again, an enlightened person getting to raga and dvesha again?
Yes. You have a nice clean bath and you go and play again in the mud. Will you get dirty or not? You have to all the time be aware and vigilant. Yes?
So what happens if they do not choose to come back? So they just merge it with Brahman?
Yes, absolutely. Not everybody comes back. Yeah. There is no bondage to come back after enlightenment. But please come back, help us all. It will be so good, no?
Yeah, that's the reason. It's risky at the same time. It's a challenge.
Yeah.
So here I have a question. Which is out of the context, like you see in the real world, we say like by 2040 the Japan's population would go deplete by 30%. India's population is growing, China's population is growing. So all the spirits are coming to that world. Yeah.
You have gone and divided the entire planet into different countries. For a soul, this is not America and that is India and I'm going to be born in Switzerland. There is no demarcation. There is no separation.
But as
it's all one.
But as you say that you might get born in the same family again and again and again.
So what if your family moves to Switzerland? My raga is with the family, not with Switzerland. It doesn't matter. It's the raga dvesha that decides. It does not matter space. Deshakal, it's called in Yeah? Space and time exist only on the physical realm of existence, not on the other side. Yeah? Kala is time. Desha is place or distance or space. Space and time. That's how it is divided. That's how it is translated into English. How is space measured? Distance, no? Distance, yeah, equivalent to place. Got it? How? So Desha Kala just exists on the physical realm of existence, not beyond this realm. There are many more realms of existences which we will learn in Yoga Vasishta. If you graduate Ashtavakra and all the Upanishads, then only can you qualify for Yoga Vasishta. And we learn the 14 planes of existence. Right now, become well versed with this one. Yeah. This physical plane of existence, yeah, is limited by space and time. Desha Kala.
This human body can go also again back to animal body?
There is a story of Jada Bharata. I've told most of you in Kena Upanishad. Yes?
Yeah.
That at the last moment or in the last few years of his life, he got attached to a
Deer.
Yeah, because the deer was wounded. So he started taking care of the deer, and what happened? He would not let the deer go back to the forest. He just wanted to keep the deer. He got so attached to the deer in the last few years of his life that he was reborn as the deer. This is the word of caution given to every brahmachari when he leaves the ashram at the age of 25, when that 25 years of education are done and they leave the master's ashram to go into the grihastha ashram, go back home. This is the last word of caution given to every disciple.
This question is extension to that. When Guruji says that we've been here so many times, we met each other, we know. Is it all those forms are in human form?
No, all that could be in different forms. You have come in as a butterfly, as an ant, as a bird, as a fish, as a monkey. Yeah? And maybe many times as a human too. Yeah? We do not know. But this is not our first time. He has come many times, he says. And he says, no, I wish you remember.
Yeah.
Do we have to stay in the same planet?
Your raga and dvesha will decide that. Yeah. So now that you've understood this, what do you have to do? How will I drop what I don't recognize at first? First thing, I recognize it. I have this long list of ragas and dveshas. Have you made a list? Homework number 2. I didn't see everybody nodding. Make a list of all ragas and all dveshas. Yes? And they fall under the 5 senses we did yesterday. Yeah? Touch, taste, smell,
Region.
sight and sound. Yeah?
Attraction towards somebody or love towards somebody will fall in which senses?
Sight.
Sight.
Yeah, I like somebody, he's so good looking, or you like
not
a beautiful
like that.
girl.
So for like mother, so our love towards mother, the attachment towards mother is not just sight, right? It will
It's
be
more.
Yeah, it will be somewhere in all 5 senses.
Yes.
Like when you're sick, we want the touch of the mother. So that part will come in all 5. Or
All
we
5.
just make a list of the people who we are attached to.
Okay, let's do this way. Make 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, your sight, sound, touch, taste, smell. Under each, make 3 categories: people, situations, and things. Under each of the 5. So 5 into 3, 15 columns you will have. Arohi, just increase your homework.
Then then coming to that, once we have the raga, then corresponding that dvesha is also there.
Perfect. Behind every raga there is a dvesha. There cannot be a raga without a dvesha, there cannot be a dvesha without a raga.
Sometimes I think it is too much writing, so I started recording now.
But hopefully you go back home and really go back to your recording and do your homework.
No, I am doing my homework as a recording.
Oh, your homework is also recording. Perfect.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Why are gurus like Swami Dayananda, they are very not cremated?
Because they have taken samadhi. That attachment is already gone. Yeah? We will talk what is samadhi. A saint, somebody who is on the path, recognizes first step that you are doing, I have these ragas and dveshas and I let go of them. And he does different ways. I told you about the 3 paths that humans can take. What are the 3 paths? I gave you 3 paths last time.
Devotion, knowledge, karma yoga,
Perfect. Karma yoga, Jnana yoga and Bhakti yoga. What is Karma yoga? Actions. Looking at my actions, letting go of the negativities, working. All that you're doing right now. Yes? Karma yoga. Jnana yoga?
applying the knowledge, becoming aware.
Perfect. Ashtavakra, most of you have done. Yeah? Sakshi, being a Sakshi again and again, being aware. Yeah? This is Jnana Yoga, applying that knowledge of Ashtavakra Gita. Yeah? I am not the doer, I am not the experiencer, it is all a happening. Yeah? When I start applying it on myself, I am following the path of Jnana Yoga. What is the third? Bhakti Yoga. What is Bhakti?
Love. Love towards the divine will transform into love to everybody around us.
Perfect. Yeah? Having that love towards the divine. Yeah? That divine can be just energy, can be in the form of an idol, Lord Krishna, Lord Rama, or it can be a guru. Yeah? It can be a guru, an idol, or just energy. Doesn't matter whatever you believe in. And being completely dissolved in that love. When you are totally dissolved in love for the divine, there is no room for 2. Yes, there is no room for 2. And 2 is that creates I and you is the reason for problems. Yeah? Only when there is I, there is you. Yeah? And when there is you, then there is I. And then there is raga and dvesha with I in you. And everything starts. The moment this dvaitam drops, you are transcended to the plane of Bhakti Yoga. It's the highest plane. From Karma Yoga also you will get to Bhakti Yoga. From Jnana Yoga also you get to Bhakti Yoga. Finally, that is the last. It has to happen. That falling in love with the divine consciousness, with the Brahman. The Purusa recognizing, oh, I am the Brahman. This is falling in love. Yes? That is Bhakti Yoga. Kabir described it very beautifully. Kabir said, Prem gali ati sakari, tame do na samay. Means, the path of love is so narrow, it does not have room for 2. Yeah? There is no other. There is no I and you. Yeah? So, an enlightened master either follows Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, either of that, and reaches the epitome, where he recognizes, I, the Purusha, am not different from Brahman. So while living in this body, he is already dead. He is mukt of the bondage of birth and death and birth and death. He is called a Jivan Mukta. So such masters take samadhi. That is why we bury them. We don't burn them. I told you why we burn. Telling the soul, go away. It's over. Not required. The master has already gone away while living in the body.
I don't understand about the 720 gets to heaven. How does that answer that, arranging that?
Yeah. So when Nachiketa arranged that, that was an explanation of how to go to heaven. There's more to it actually. It's not covered in the story because everybody's so enamored by the story of death. But it is that the other side, when you're on the other side, it is like a dream-like state. All your impressions still exist. Sight and sound is there. I want to touch, I want this, but I am stuck. Sometimes you can be in that dream-like state for thousands of years. Yes? So when you cross over from the human life to the pitras, you remember? Mm-hmm. Yes? So you become pitras and then you move on also, going on to the devas. Devas, pitras, all are stuck in that dream-like state. You remember Gurudev said in Kathopanishad, to attain enlightenment, you have to come back to a human life, go through that human life, and then you can become a Siddha. You remember that?
Yes.
Everybody remembers?
Yes.
No, I don't see everybody nodding. Who doesn't remember? Kina Upanishad is a must before coming to Kathopanishad.
Yes.
We can't keep repeating all, na? After human life, you move on to being an ancestor, Pitra. After Pitras, you can move on to being a Gandharva, Yaksha, Kinnara. You can be a Deva. It's a progression. These are the different realms of existence. You've already touched it a little bit in Kathopanishad. So when you move on, but your ragas and dveshas are intact, you're carrying them and you're stuck in a dream. You're aware, I want this, but I cannot get it. It's a difficult phase. That is why it is said there is no love there. You remember this statement from Kena? To experience love, you have to come back to the human life. And what is the Purusha recognizing the Brahman? It's love, no? Cannot be achieved in the Pitra, Gandharva, Kinnara, Yaksha or Deva life. The Purusha uniting with the Brahman can happen only back in the human life.
So to liberate, you have to be in a human body.
Human body. You have to take a human body.
In our Hindu Puranas, the way they depict, in all the books and commentaries, I agree. Devas, they can approach Brahman and if any issue or problem, that means they are already in touch with Brahman. So when the soul is elevating itself from Pitru, Gandharva, Kinnara, Devas, so it's already with the Brahman. Why do we have to come back again?
It's just a story. Even they show in the mythology, humans are speaking to animals, to Brahman, to everybody. You would have different stories. But this is just a symbolism. Every story has a symbolism, a meaning behind it. It's a story finally. Yes? So learn to segregate mythology from real scriptures. That's where the confusion happened in ancient India. Yeah? And then people said, oh, it's all hocus pocus. Why? Because they mix mythology with scriptures. There is a difference. Yes? Nice, mythology is a good story. Yeah? It's good for kids. You understand the symbolism behind it and drop the story part of it. Stories are only to convey something, a message. Scriptures is the real crux. So follow the scriptures. What we are doing exactly the scripture. We're dropping the mythology. Sometimes we say stories, but again, it is so that you understand. Yeah, understand the scripture.
I have a question. You told us during the Kathopanishad session that during the death there is a little window where you can get liberated or enlightened. Can you explain that now?
Yes, perfectly. That's what we are coming to tomorrow. Yeah?
Quick question. After the death, after the Purusha leaves the Prakruti, does it remember anything from the human life?
Yes, yes. You have everything. Nothing happens to you, I'm telling you. You cannot even experience death. That is why you're confused, no?
Yes.
Why would you otherwise be confused if you experienced it? You do not experience death. See, today he said a very important thing. How does this body run? In the mother's womb, how did my body get formed?
First consciousness.
First the consciousness came. Because of that consciousness kicking in the particular cell and the sperm uniting, then the growth begins. Do you get it? At death what happens? That same Purusha first exits. Then the body falls, no? Can the body fall first? Purusha exiting is the body falling, death happening. Then how will this Purusha even experience death? Are you getting this? You are experiencing something because you are in this body. Through the five senses. The moment it withdraws from the five senses and this drops, you do not experience it. Same thing. You do not even experience birth. Do you remember your birth? Do you remember the trauma of coming out from the womb? No. Unless it's recorded and you've seen it.
Many people are doing that anyway. So.
Yeah. But you don't remember it. You cannot. Yeah. Birth and death. You cannot experience. So drop this fear of death, please. You will not know. Yeah? You will be intact like this and out of the physical body. That's it. Memory, intellect, ego, everything is there. Your mind is functioning the way it is functioning now. Everything is there. The impressions are stronger. Because it's like getting frozen in time. Here you are fluid. Every day when raga comes, next day it's gone. Now the dvesha comes, it's gone. You're fluid here. What happens the moment you're out of the body? You freeze. Impressions stick on and they freeze there. Yes? Because of that last impression that is frozen like an ice, a piece of ice. Now you have to be born with that last frozen impression. You getting it? Yeah? That is why in animals the most strongest impression is fear of the other animal which is going to eat it up. Yeah? And it sees that animal attacking, it sees, that death happening, whatever it sees that happening to itself. So that fear is the last impression, what it sees. Yeah, if a tiger is killing a fox, that's what the fox sees, or a lion or whatever. And that becomes its last frozen impression. And that impression leads to the next janma.
But it may not be always true. The reason being, the man who might have committed so many bad things throughout the life, just but end up, he's on the deathbed, and you can keep looking at the last photo or brother's photo or something like that, but he snaps out. That doesn't mean his last impression
it is like that.
There is a story.
It is like that. That is why people name their children by the name of Narayana. At least when I say Narayana, I'll get liberated. They say no. Take the name of Allah in your last breath.
The karma theory, it's not that.
That is what, no? That window of liberation she was talking about. There is one loophole in this entire creation. That's the one we are going to talk about tomorrow.
There is a loophole. So do whatever and then find the loophole and get liberated.
Now that loophole also anybody cannot find. You have to do full life purushartha, full life spirituality to actually find that loophole at the time of death. It is not for the weak. It is for the very strong, courageous, wise person who is ready to let go of all ragas and dveshas just to find that loophole. Do you have that thirst? Yes. That determination? Wait for it. It comes on Sunday.
What do you mean?
You're saying wait for it Sunday, so you're saying as if to TV and also will say. In the video.
Yeah, even video also.
Question. So we say that the animal as impressions, the fear, would be like a mouse sees a cat, and that's his last impression, and it's like a fear. But if you have an animal who, let's say, passes away with, his owner or master, is that when the animal comes into human life?
Maybe, may not. Depending on the animal's last impression, you never know. Yeah? Last impression can be of pain happening in the body. Last impression, could be of disease. It could be so many different things, no? So we don't know. At least in a human birth, you have the intellect to go through this training before you come to death, so that you can let go of all the pains and whatever is attracting you, and just focus on this formula which is coming. It's difficult in an animal life to do that, but human life is blessed with this. So,
but one more thing, you said we have to take a human birth to get enlightenment.
Yeah.
If I remember one of the stories somewhere I heard about Ramana Maharshi, there was a cow that was always listening to him, and even when it fell sick, it slept putting its head in his direction, Ashram's direction, and he came in search of the cow, and he blessed it, and he said it doesn't have to come back to the cycle. So that means very rarely even the animal can.
Yeah, very rarely, very, very rarely it is. Like 1 in a billion probably, we don't know. Yeah, very rare. But you will see even in the ashram, you've seen the elephant, Indriyani. Yeah. Very playful with Gurudev. Yeah, Guruji goes and feeds her. Yeah. Very, very sweet. So, yes, there are lots of animals that can come there. Yeah. But very rare.
He may be like Ekta Bathija with all the knowledge given here.
Yes. Then the story goes further, where the disciple identified that this deer is Jada Bharata, and helped it get out of that last life of the deer. He gets enlightened after that. Yeah, he gets trapped into that one last impression. Yeah, you can get trapped in just one impression also. So don't keep room for one also. Yeah. Not even a single one.
Guruji said that there are 5 great secrets. He only gave us 2.
Not one.
He gave
Secret of birth and secret of death.
That one. That one.
It's already there in my video online. That will take us totally away from this topic. So, we'll do
Can you
that.
just please listen? We don't ask any questions. Just listen.
Mention the list.
YouTube. YouTube.com.
Maybe we can send it.
Yeah, we'll send it to you after the Kathopanishad. Right now, only focus on Katho.
So, in regards to the 720 breaks, is there more to it than that just things?
Yeah, that's more. There's more. Yeah.
And Gurudev also talked about necklace.
Yeah, see the story. The Kathopanishad can go on for days on days together. Yeah, but we don't have so much time to do all of it. Yeah, but just that everything has its own little significance. Yeah, and we'll go deeper and deeper into the scriptures. You will get everything. See, I do these weekend sessions for you to start on your own. Do you go back and pick up the scripture and start? That's the main intention. Yeah, it's not to come here and just attend this, but start on your own. Pick it up now. I know the story. I know the basics. Let me pick it up. Let me understand. It's okay if you don't understand Sanskrit, but there are good translations also. Yeah, Kathopanishad by Gorakhpur Express, Gorakhpur Press is very good. Yeah. Gorakhpur Press, they have a very good one. They have their Sanskrit also, but the English translation is very authentic. So, move on to the scriptural paths now. Yes, get sincere about this. This is not one weekend entertainment channel. Yeah. Every day little bit. Every day little bit.
Do we have online skills? No, right?
No.
Like we have on the...
No. These we just do on weekends right now. We might start in future. Yeah. Okay. What is the question here online? Sorry, we have too many questions in the room.
There are some questions in the chat. Shall I say?
Yes. Read it out, please.
The first question is, Neha asks, the sequence in which the senses withdraw, does this apply to the soldiers in the war field who die instantly?
Yes.
Or unfortunate people who are killed?
Yes. The sequence always remains the same. It doesn't matter what kind of a death, whether it is an accident or in a war or just passing on or a disease in the hospital. The sequence of the withdrawing is always first touch, then taste. Understand the physical. Yeah. So first touch goes, then taste goes, then smell goes. Yeah. Sight and sound remain, as if a sense of light remains. Yeah. And sound remains. Yeah.
So when I close my eyes, then I can't see, right? And then when the person dies, the eyes are closed. So how can he see them?
Come on, are you that body? Are you that body? Are you the eyes on that body? The eyes? It always remains the same.
No, but okay, then again, the person who is in coma, right? And for him also Guruji said that sight and sound is there, and there also eyes are closed. And then how come...
Sense of light is there. The impression of light is there. The sense of light is there.
When you dream, don't you see light? Your eyes are closed, but you still have a sense of light.
So but then that is fine, but they cannot see what is happening in the room and other things. They can listen.
They can hear you.
They can hear it.
Yeah. That's why even to coma patients.
Yeah, recently they actually did a scan, and this is like last year itself. But they found that there is an activity in the coma patients. And there's one guy who was in coma for 14 years. His family, his mom used to come and help him out. Everyone thought he was like brain dead. Then they realized by this computer imaging that he was actually listening to everything, and they found a way in which he could start communicating using technology, of course. And then he said like he was like feeling imprisoned, but he could hear everything. He could remember all the conversations.
You have also experienced death, really. Tell me.
Sleep. Meditation.
Sometimes in your sleep you're not asleep. You want to get up, but you cannot get up. Has that happened?
That happens.
Yes.
That is exactly the experience on the other side.
Actually, I experienced very deeply that one. I wanted to get up, but I couldn't get up. Very strongly I wanted to get up.
That's all that it is.
Why vision and sound only remains?
We'll come to that. Afternoon. Afternoon session is there.
So
These are your strongest impressions, that is why. I'll explain it to you.
So there is a reason for this, like I would say, like test for those hierarchies. Is there a reason?
Yes, physical, subtle and causal. We'll do it in the afternoon. Yeah. So we'll come to the actual crux of why it happens like that, how it happens like that. Guruji is still just preparing you for it. He wants to kind of check. You're not getting fearful, no? You're fine, no? Should I talk more? That's how it's still happening there. You're not fearful, right?
No.
There's nothing to fear. Yes?
But there is a fear is there. Suppose if I'm driving, right, and I see that I near miss the other car, like the accident did not happen, then see what happens to you. See the breath, like you feel that fearness is there, no?
It's only the body. It's a natural reflex of your body.
No, but that word sometimes it goes beyond the alertness also.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, just observe it. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It's not a big deal, guys. Someday this Prakriti has to drop. Sooner the better. Be done with it.
But everyone knows that everybody is going to die one day. Then why?
Forget everyone. I talk I.
I know I am going to die.
Huh.
So why so much struggle?
Again, where is the struggle? I'm telling you to drop the struggle. Your struggle is in holding on to your Raga Dvesha, holding on to her, holding on to and that big struggle that happens there. I'm telling you, drop the struggle, drop this Raga Dvesha. You see, it's not the struggle.
Stop making all those good food.
On the path of spirituality, the only effort is to become effortless. There's too much effort in our ragas and dveshas. I want this, I cannot be without this, I want this also, I want this also. Oh, I don't want this. Too much effort is happening. What we are telling you, drop the effort. Become effortless. The moment you become effortless, you're relaxed and you can snap off. Yeah? You will get into that window of liberation. We'll talk about it in the afternoon. Okay? I know too much curiosity spiked now by the window of liberation.
We say the first step towards dropping is becoming aware of it. But there are times when we are aware of it also, but even then it is difficult to drop. So and at that time it is more problematic because we know there is a problem and yet we are not able to come out of it. So there are times when for me personally I just do it with the breath, and because of the faith and that devotion to Guruji I just say Jai Gurudev and it goes away. But if if I'm talking to my close ones and if I want to explain to them or make them understand for people who do not have faith. So what is the technicality? How do we make somebody understand that?
This is for me.
Okay, so there are times when even I am not able to do it. When sometimes we feel away from Guruji or we don't feel that connection. That is again my problem. But what do I do at that time? Then it keeps on getting accumulated and accumulated and accumulated.
Yeah. First of all, you have to recognize getting out of any raga, even raga for a guru is a raga. Raga for scripture is a raga. Doesn't matter, good raga, but raga. Yeah. Any raga is going to give you that magnetic fight, that struggle that I told you about the two same poles. That's going to happen. First of all, you have to accept this struggle or this pain or this discomfort is going to happen for a long time. So many lifetimes have collected these impressions, no? I cannot say, with one kriya or even with 1 year of practice or 2 years of practice it should go away. What did Guruji say in the video? What is the greatest virtue? Patience. It's going to be difficult. It's going to take some time. I'm going to let it take its time. Yeah? Pooja, can you mute everybody, please? Suppose you have a wound. Yeah? Suppose you have a wound. Can you say, it should get better right now, healed right now? Does that happen? It takes its time. If it's a fracture, it will take 6 weeks, 8 weeks. Can you say, right now I should be able to walk? Exactly the same way. You wait those 8 weeks, no? Like that, you have to wait till this struggle happens between the South Pole and South Pole. The struggle is going to happen when you are working on getting away from some raga or dvesha. Go through it. That is why it is called Gyan Agni. It's a fire. That fire will burn you. Willingly, you go through the fire, it will be done faster. The more you struggle with the fire, you are increasing the duration of remaining in the heat. You are increasing the suffering. Stay in the fire. Be in the Gyan Agni. Yeah? The more stronger, with the more courage you stay there, the faster it goes.
The South Pole that you're referring to is like the spirit having raga, dvesha, trying to move away.
Like suppose the North Pole and South Pole are already together. Now when you try to pull them apart, aren't they struggling? Not South Pole and South Pole, it's North Pole and South Pole. Aren't they struggling? They don't want to be apart, they want to be together. What are you doing? There is going to be some time till this causes a struggle. After a certain space, after a certain distance is reached, this will break off. This link, this connection, this raga, this feverishness, whatever it was, it will break off. And this is for your dveshas also. You are stuck more to the person you hate than you are stuck to the person you love. Yeah? You are glued. Yeah? You think more about the person you hate. You don't think about the person you love so much as you think about the person you hate. So remember this, it happens with the person you hate as well. You are glued. And what happens? Can you bring that slide? The magnet one? What happens? If you have a lot of dvesha for somebody, I hate somebody,
you get more on their families.
You attract them into your next lifetime. If you leave this body with that dvesha. Do you want to do that?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
100% ask yourself. Stop, drop the dvesha.
But
it's okay.
This is okay with family and people around who we love, but this is really very difficult to apply when you are at work.
Doesn't matter. Wherever it is difficult, you still apply it. Same principle, no? North Pole and South Pole, you are trying to pull them apart now. Yeah? For some time there's going to be a struggle. Beyond a certain point, that struggle will drop off. Till you reach that point, keep moving away from that dvesha. Yes? That's where you require faith, like she was talking about faith in Gurudev. Yeah? That's where you require a lot of courage. Yeah? Scriptures help you keep walking. Yeah? Being continuously absorbed in knowledge also works. It pulls you away. Yeah? Bhakti pulls you away. Or being involved in your karmas, your activities, yeah? With complete purity, no negativity. That also pulls that north and south away. It may sound like dvesha is actually, south and south, but it is actually north and south. You are glued to the person you hate. Yeah? So, drop the dvesha even. So, what happens at the door of death? First, what is the first sense? Sense of touch goes away. Next, taste goes away. Yeah? With impressions. Impressions are very important. Yeah? So second, the taste goes away. Third, smell goes away. Yeah? Next, sound and light still remains, but with the impressions. The impressions withdraw. Yeah? So light and sound get out. Then, with all this bag of impression, the soul snaps out of the body. Yeah? Then what happens? How long does it take? 3 days it takes to adjust to the other end. Yeah? Why it takes that much time?
Because they are not most. Because we are very much attached to the Prakriti and its relation.
Yes, we are very attached to everything here. Yes, so that's why it takes that much time. Yeah. So now when the soul has moved on to the other side, it's like a different time zone. Yeah? You can call it the soul's time zone. Yeah? Our 1 year is 1 day on the other side. Yeah? But it's our 360 English calendar days. Yeah? It's more appropriate with our Hindu calendar. Yeah? So, the time zone difference exists. So, now when the soul is on the other side, what happens? What is the state? Dream-like state. All the impressions are there. Yeah? They are frozen, yeah, with the soul. And it stays with its impression. That was all covered yesterday, day 1. Yeah. Next. What did we do in day 2? What did you do today?
Go to heaven.
How do you go to heaven?
720 bricks.
720 bricks. What are the 720 bricks? What is 1 brick?
One day.
One is 1 daytime and 1 brick is 1 night time. So 360 days into 2 bricks is 720 bricks. And what does it signify? Yeah. 1 year of human life is 1 day of the soul. And so how do you go to heaven?
That's what I was asking.
How to go to heaven with that?
Use the bridge to make steps.
It's just symbolic. It's just symbolic. The bricks are just symbolic. When you do a sacrifice like that, it's called the Nachiketa sacrificial fire. Yeah. So any person who does that, will move away from negativity and go towards more positivity when he crosses over to the other side, which is the one day on the other side. So when he crosses over to the other side, a person who does that, it's a ceremony really. It's called Nachiketa's sacrificial fire. You read more about it when you pick up the scriptures. So in the sutras it is anybody who performs this ceremony will easily attain heaven, will understand how to get into the window of liberation and move on. During your lifetime, you understand the scriptural knowledge and go through the fire of knowledge. That itself is Nachiketa's fire. It's also a ritual, but it's no use doing a ritual without the knowledge. We do so many rituals nowadays, no? We don't even understand why we're doing. Even husband and wife going around the fire. They don't even know what the Pandit is saying. And they're married. Yeah? They don't understand the ritual. Understanding the ritual is very important.
And after understanding also the Radha Dvesha so much that you don't remember the 7 people.
You want to forget the vows, say that.
During lifetime, you go through
the Jnana Agni, knowledge, that itself. Yeah? And there is a ritual called Nachiketa's fire, sacrificial fire.
Nachiketa Agni.
With Nachiketa Agni. What happens at death? The rituals, whatever are performed, they say, let the earth go back to the earth, let the fire go back to the fire, let the water go back to the water, let the ether go back to the ether, and let the air go back to the air. So you are actually telling the soul. Why are you telling the soul? Because the sense of sound is there. Yeah? And the sense of light is there. So you light a lamp, have you noticed? Yeah. Everybody lights a lamp all those days. There's a lamp lit and there is that mantras chanting going on. Yeah? So the soul actually feels the vibrations of your chants. So now that you guys are on the spiritual path, if in your family something like this happens, it's no use sitting and crying and lamenting. Yeah? That soul's karma was done. Yeah? You should actually celebrate, be happy that the karma is done. Why are you crying? You are increasing the misery of that other soul. That other soul can feel your dukkha. You know this, right? The vibrations go. Yeah? So he feels the dukkha. Stop crying. Drop it. Let go. Let him go. The more you cry, the more you get into all your raga dvesha. It will bind him or her. They need to move on. So set them free, guys. Yeah? His or her karma is done, let them go. So you don't cry. You start chanting mantras. There's so many chants. We did this morning also, no? What was the chant we did? Satyam Parama Dhimahi. Truth is highest, is the supreme. And what is the truth? What is the truth?
Everything is not changing.
Everything is changing. Everything is changing. Everything is temporary. This is the highest truth.
Who started this crying thing?
Perfect. Why are you crying? Yeah, so stop this. Yeah. Now you are all wise people. Yeah, you take this up. When somebody departs, no crying. Yeah? Do not give any more dukkha vibrations to that soul. Give love, meditate, do chanting, yeah? Send vibrations of peace and love so that the soul can move on now. No more raga dvesha.
People will think other way around.
How long you can...
No, however you will have some kind of feeling here.
You will have an attachment. Yeah, you look at your attachment. Oh, it's my greed that I want this person to be with me. How selfish. But that person has exhausted his or her karma. I have to let him or her go. Stop being greedy, guys. Enough. You're already greedy for money, phones, jobs, houses, cars. Now even somebody else who's partying, soul, let him go. Stop. Somewhere we need to stop. Too much selfishness has come into us. Somewhere we have to let go.
Chanting means what type of chanting?
Like we did this morning. Just put on Guruji's chanting. Maybe you have too much emotion and you cannot do chanting or leave it, but at least put on some chanting. So everybody in the house gets away from their attachment for that person and starts chanting at least. In your own way, educate the other people. Don't start preaching over there. They'll get angry with you. Oh, it was his karma. Finished. They'll all start shouting at you. How can you talk like this? Don't get into preaching. No preaching.
Does it help even if you start chanting before one person is still in the...
Absolutely. Absolutely.
When you know that the person is going to pass.
Yeah.
That will be more helpful to the person.
To that person.
Because then his awareness also increases.
Exactly. Like I gave you the example of my sister's mother, my friend's mother. Yeah? So when she actually told her mom felt, no, oh, okay, I'm relieved of my responsibility. She'll take care. At least for those few minutes there was a relief. Yeah? And then they all left and she started meditating. She told her, you start doing your Sudarshan Kriya, start breathing how much ever you can. She could not sit up. She was lying down only. Just breathe whatever and do whatever Om Namah Shivaya chanting in the mind, whatever you can do. Daughter telling the mother. She could have been all hugging her, crying, kissing her, all your raga or drama starts, no? Drop the drama at this point of time, really. Take this one thing back from Kathopanishad. Help the other soul move on.
So, my dad was in the hospital like almost for 8 weeks before he passed away. And I think, now that I have sort of a better understanding, I feel like he really wasn't ready to die, and he wanted to stay. And, he was making plans like he's going to get out, like tomorrow he's going to get up and start walking. He's going to go back, go to India to visit. And he was making all these plans. And, but people had already given up. Doctors had given up. Everybody knew that this was just a matter of time. So some friends came and very proactively started chanting the Gita. And he really was so much interested in living. He knew what was going on. He told them not to read it.
That attachment to the body and the world. Yeah. That is why this training is required throughout life. So that your last moment you do the right thing.
Just watching someone leave your body also helps you how you're getting to witness.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a beautiful question. She's saying, does watching somebody else leave their body help you? Yes, it brings you in that state of samadhi. It's called Vitarka Anugama Samadhi. Those who've done Patanjali with me know this. Yeah, it brings you in that sudden awareness that, oh, all is going to end. One day even this body is going to go. and complete silence happens for a moment. Yeah? That's called Vitarka Anugama Samadhi. Experiencing that will really help you go deeper into meditation. Will help you understand, oh, I have to let go of my raga and dvesha and move on one day. It really helps somebody. So if you have experienced something like this, you're lucky. Don't consider yourself unlucky. We always consider ourselves unlucky because somebody in our life has passed on. His or her karma was exhausted. Be happy for them. They were done with that. If somebody pays off their complete bank loan, will you sit and cry or will you be happy? Paid off, done, moved on. Be happy. You behave like that bank manager. Oh, I lost my interest now. He paid off his bank loan. Stop being the bank manager. Yeah? And be a compassionate friend of that soul who has paid it off. Yeah? Change the way you look at death. It's a beautiful experience and we will all go through it. And be ready. Be happy about it. Be excited. Yes. I want to experience it and see, can I make it to that window of liberation? And how to make it to the window of liberation? In the afternoon. Okay, your lunch is here, no?
So in a situation like this where the person doesn't want to go, but this chanting is good for them, do you still do it or you?
Well, at that point it was difficult for you to even continue with the Gita. That's okay. But the moment the soul passes on, you can start it again. Because now he doesn't even, he won't say anything. But it will help him. It will definitely help him. Because he can still hear. He can still get those vibrations of sound.
He can still see.
Yes, he can still see.
Do you really have to chant like loudly? We can chant within ourselves also, right?
Yes. As long as inside my environment is calm and relaxed, devoid of that raga and dvesha. I have to just make my inner environment peaceful. That is the vibration that reaches the other person. And chanting helps calm me down. Yeah? So there's a way to communicate to the other realm of existence. And that's how chanting helps you to communicate to the other side. They don't understand your English and German and Marathi and Hindi. They don't understand that. Yeah? It's a vibration that needs to go there.
Like even though the person who is dying is not related to you or anything, but what can you do to just help them at that state, like to make that journey? Can you, even though you are not related, whatever, is there a way
you can just sit and chant, and that's good enough. Unless there are people who say don't chant. If you're not in that kind of hostile situation, could just chant.
Like even with the like just saying, just inside, just chant for them.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, there are many chantings people advise, no? Mahamrityunjay mantra. There's so many different mantras have been given. You chant this, you chant this, you chant this. So many things you can chant. Whatever you like to do.
Is the date and time for me to die is predetermined?
Yes.
Now they say that, okay, if based upon some tithi, say there is a panchak, okay, if somebody dies on that time frame, then something gonna happen bad with that family with 5 guys or something like that. Is it true?
It's not bad is going to happen, but it's a difficult phase anyway where the planets are concerned. So it's just that during that phase that there can be a difficult situation. But there cannot be such a difficult situation that you cannot deal with anything. It's never happened in your life. God gives you a problem that you can solve. There will never be a problem that will come to you that is unsolvable. Yeah? a first grader only gets to solve 2 plus 2 is equal to what? Yeah, a PhD person has to solve a higher mathematical equation. Yeah, you don't give the higher mathematical equation to the first grader. God has brains. Don't doubt his brains. So you will get only those problems that you can solve. So don't worry so much about life. I don't know why we get into, oh, this has happened, that has happened. The more we think about it, we exaggerate the suffering. Our thinking exaggerates the suffering. Get it done quickly without thinking so much. So we have lunch now. I know I can hear your stomach growling.